So, Mr. Chairman, as a matter of policy, is it your intention to ban or limit the use of cryptocurrencies like we're seeing in China?
No, and I immediately realized I had misspoken there. I didn't mean that take the word cryptocurrency out of that sentence, and I would say it's fairly widely understood that central bank digital currencies could perform could make.
But no intention to ban.
Less.
No intention to ban.
No intention to ban them, but they're.
Hello everyone, it's your options guy. Welcome back to another video. So there you go. You heard it from the man himself, Jerome Powell. He clearly states that the United States has no intention to ban cryptocurrencies, the same way that China has recently banned Bitcoin. So that's good news. Basically, that is one of the reasons that caused the spike for Bitcoin today, and it's actually looking really good. So far, we're above 43,000. We actually touched around 44,000 recently. So if we take a look at planB and basically their prediction based on price/on-chain data, they basically predicted that the price of Bitcoin would be above 47,000 by August, which it actually checks out. It should be above 43,000 by September, and today is basically the last day. So it's looking like the prophecy is being filled. And if both of those are true, then what's coming next is the price of Bitcoin to be well above 63,000 by October. So we'll basically see if it actually comes out. Now, keep in mind that this on-chain data is different from their actual S2F model. Their S2F model basically is predicting that Bitcoin will be around 100,000 at least by the end of the year. So we'll see if that basically plays out around there, at least by the end of the year, if not early 2022. So we'll basically get to see if their predictions or their models come out to be correct. For the most part, they have been quite accurate, and that's why they have a huge fan base and a lot of people follow planB. Anyways, so we have a lot to cover today. There's a lot of good news and a lot of topics to cover. So like one, we have Bitcoin bears are covering their shorts and they're basically being liquidated as of right now. And there's a lot of other topics that we need to get into, a lot of new current events and news and analysis that I want to get into. But before we do that, make sure you go ahead and check out my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate all the support. Let's try to get to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure you check out my latest videos. And if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and leave any comments. All right, so let's get into it. So far, basically the shorts have been covering massively. So right now they're in the 1200 range, and just yesterday I was showcasing that they went from 1600 all the way back to basically 1500, and they were hovering there for a while, and now they're in the 1200 range. So they've been dipping a little bit. So if we take a look at the 5-day chart, you can see that we were around this range up here for a while, and then we broke down to the 1500s, and now we're breaking down even further. So as we get closer and closer to like the 1000 range or lower, that's pretty much a good indication of that, we're about to start spiking, and the bears are basically covering because they're getting kind of scared. They're getting a little bit worried that if they should even be having short positions at the moment or at that point in time. So yeah, it's just been going down in the shorts. So it's looking like the bulls are basically taking over, and we may even push above 45K soon. But anyways, let's take a look at other news. So in other news, Iranian government lifts the ban on crypto mining. So a while back, they basically had a temporary ban on crypto mining because, well, at least they were saying that it was causing a lot of blackouts, and they're basically blaming the crypto miners for the blackouts. But just recently, they lifted the ban. And Iran houses about 7% of the world cryptocurrency mining by powerful computers, which consumes a lot of electricity. So basically it says right here that before the ban was lifted, the Iranian government announced last month that the restrictions on Bitcoin mining would be lifted. So that's pretty good. So, there's more restrictions being lifted for mining. And I think it's a pretty good move for the Iranian government to do so. That way they don't lose out the miners, and just like China did, a bunch of Chinese miners, they basically moved elsewhere, and a lot of the miners basically moved. And in other news, Bitcoin ATMs are popular in Canada, the United States, and Latin America. And it's actually pretty interesting because if you do like a Google search for Bitcoin ATMs like in your area, I think you'll be surprised to see how many there are in your area. I was surprised to see how many there are in my area, and I kind of live like somewhere in the middle of nowhere, but there are a good amount of Bitcoin ATMs in my area. Also in other news, billionaire Orlando Bravo reveals he's a Bitcoin holder or hodler and is very bullish for 3 reasons. So we take a look here. He's basically saying, how can you not love crypto? Crypto is just a great system, it's frictionless, it's decentralized, and young people want their own financial system. So it is here to stay. So it's not just this billionaire, but there are other billionaires such as Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey. So it's getting a lot of billionaire momentum, and I think that's good news because the billionaire class, they're good, basically proponents of change. And if we have billionaires like Elon Musk, Michael Saylor, Jack Dorsey, and so on, I feel like they have a really strong influence on the market performance and the adoption of Bitcoin. All right, so basically October, November, and December, usually Q4 is when we witness a rally for Bitcoin. And just looking at the previous Q4s back in 2013, 2017, you can see that October, it had a really good chunk of upside. Same thing with November, which was actually kind of ridiculous on 2013. So I guess the expectation is that we're going to see another strong quarter of Bitcoin at least, and even altcoins should follow Bitcoin as well. So one of the key reasons is because, well, one, obviously adoption is increasing, and two, I feel like the whole rumor with the SEC finally approving a Bitcoin futures ETF at least may actually come at least within this month, and that basically sparked a lot of other institutions basically like filing like more ETFs, and we should get a big Bitcoin ETF final verdict sometime in November. So there might be a rally up until then, like kind of like buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. So we might actually see that actually happen at least up until November. And then also in November, we should be getting the Lightning upgrade. So I believe that Lightning upgrade even gives the capability of just faster transactions, lightning speed, and maybe even having the capability of smart contracts within Bitcoin to be a lot faster. And kind of like the whole like upgrade that happened with Ethereum, we may see like that whole hype follow into Bitcoin. So another thing I want to showcase, which I showed yesterday, was this chart that compares bull markets. So as you can see, we're on the screen section here. This is the era 4, and it's basically comparing like the previous bull cycles. So as you can see, in this current era, we haven't really spiked yet. So we're due for a spike, assuming it follows the same typical patterns of the other bull cycles. So we should get a spike relatively soon. All right, so just taking a quick look at the option data. So these are the options that expire basically tomorrow on October 1st. It has a total of almost $700 million, and the max paying price is 44,000. So obviously the bears, they want to push towards 42 or lower, and the bulls want to push above 45,000 or higher. So max paying again is 44,000. So usually what happens is the price tends to stay around this area at least towards expiration, and then it goes either way. So as of right now, we're underneath that 44,000. So we'll see if bulls can overcome this 44,000 resistance and push a little bit further, at least up until tomorrow. So another good thing that I want to bring up is that Bitcoin is actually not following the SPY, at least for today. So SPY kind of had a really down negative day, and it basically touched 429. So SPY has been breaking all these support levels. It's been breaking the 50 moving average, the 100-day, and it's looked like it's even breaking the 200-day moving average. So just breaking all these support levels of the moving averages. And however, Bitcoin is actually moving up. So if we take a quick look at some analysis, technical analysis. So 30,000 used to be the previous strong support. It seems like 40,000 is not the current support. So I drew this squiggly line about a week ago of like the potential action, the price action that might happen, and it's actually playing out exactly of like the squiggly line that I played out. This further out squiggly line that I have up here is basically just me being like doing some conservative technical analysis of just like touching the resistance coming back down and then breaking resistance and then using that previous resistance as support. So if it plays out, you know, I'll get to showcase that. But basically, I foresee that there's a slight chance that we touch 45,000, and then we should experience some pullback, at least back to the 42,800 level at least. So touch 45, come back to 42,800, and then the next move should be past that 45,000, getting right to that 48,000 resistance. So we'll see how it plays out. Anyways, that's it for today. If you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you check out my channel. Hit subscribe if you like what you see. And don't forget to leave any comments. Thank you for watching.